All right, by this point, you should have had an opportunity to calculate that answer. And the answer that I got when I did this problem was pretty high number, actually, $575.97. We have to ask ourselves now, what does this mean, and how do we deal with this information? Because one thing I can say after seeing this on exams multiple times is that the thing that students often mess up with a problem like this is not actually doing the math or anything or even setting the problem up. It's knowing what this final answer means. So we have $575.97. What does that mean? Is the computer more expensive or not? Here is an easy way to make sure that you're comparing the right two numbers. You take a look at the numbers that you set up in this chart. We started off with the new price. We started off with the 2008 price of 400, and we eventually moved to a price of 460. We had a CPI of about 88.7 in 2008, and eventually had a CPI of 127.75. These are the four things that we're looking at when we discuss this problem. Take a look at the formula that we set up. Any item that is in this formula here, we're having green, any item in here, I'm going to take out of this table that I just made on the left. So we use the 400, right? That's part of the equation. Let's knock that one out. We used 88.7. Let's get rid of that. And we used 127.5. Let's get rid of that. The remaining number, this 460, that's the price in 2013 dollars. This is what we actually are going to compare the answer that we got to. So now the question becomes, which is more expensive? Well, if there had just been inflation, the computer that cost $400 in 2008 should have cost $575.97 by the year 2013. But what was the price in 2013? Well, the price was actually only $460, as we can see here. So which is more expensive for its time? Well, it looks like clearly the laptop in 2008 was actually more expensive, even though it had a lower price tag. So the whole point of this is that you take the time to actually go through the process, solve, and adjust those numbers for inflation, which allows you to have a real basis for comparison. Again, the key thing to remember here, aside from what the two numbers you're actually going to compare, is that you always take the older price, and if you use this formula the way it's set up here, you take that older price and translate it into the current dollars. And from there, you can make your decision about which item is more expensive.